All right, everybody, thank you for joining me again tonight, April 25th, 2023. So we went ahead, pretty much we're done weathering the frame or the chassis of the AMT Freightliner dump truck. Just gonna cover some quick topics real fast and then we'll just call it a day. I want to share the updates a little bit more frequent, especially when we're doing this weathering and we're going to be involving weathering with oils when we get to the part of weathering the driver's side now. The driver's side, which you can see there, it's about, what would you say, 85% rust, 15% paint, if that. So that's going to be a perfect method using the hairspray technique. We're going to do a lot of mods to that hairspray technique to get it hopefully to do what I want to do for my application here. We already experimented on that piece of PVC pipe I showed you guys the other day, and I found a way around getting the paint to dissolve or come off in decent looking chips or flakes or chunks, whatever you want to call it. So pretty much what I'm going to do when we get to that part there, if I can bore you guys for a second with this, although it seems boring, slow, tedious, it's probably hit or just better and quicker to hit it with a dusting of dust from a spray can or your airbrush. When you're actually doing it, when you're the one doing it with your hands on the workbench here, it's probably one of the most enjoyable, sweetest, relaxing, most rewarding part of being an adult and being involved in this hobby. I cannot stress it enough. I could do this every day till the day I die, and I would die a happy man. Just feed me and let me shave and shower every once in a while. But trust me, behind the camera, when you're doing this, this is unbelievably the most rewarding, satisfying thing I've ever done in my life. Holy smokes. But anyways, now the top of our radiator looks funky. It's not painted on top. I removed the AMT part. I'm going to do a little bit of mods to it. And also, as you can see, as I was showing you guys, the air filter box popped off. But we're going to do a little bit of mods to that anyways. This plate here, what that's used for is to guide the pneumatic piston up and down, but that's a guide to keep it straight, because if you guys remember, I'm using an actual metal working pneumatic ram to lift the dump bed up and to hold it anywhere along its travel in place. It's very stiff, it's hard to pull out, and it's hard to push back in. You got to use some force, and bending the styrene components that would have held it in place would be so easy. So we went ahead and put, this is just going to serve as a guide. Kind of looks like a metal plate, but that's fine. Without this, I couldn't use the metal feature. Guys ready? There you go. See that? Now that takes effort, and to close it takes effort. I'm actually giving it some good power there. And we don't need this to collapse any styrene components that would have held it in place. So that's why that plate is there, and it's no problem. I'm showing it now. I'll weather it. You won't be able to see it. Let me see. Another thing I wanted to point out, on this side, we're going to have our battery boxes. Battery tray with our battery boxes. Now, I haven't been YouTubing on your guys' channels recently. I've been real busy. But if you go back about a month, B&R did a fantastic, I had already done mine, but B&R did a fantastic video on super detailing your battery boxes and your batteries on your AMT models. Check that out. Don't take my word for it. Check it out with your own eyes. His videos are quick, super informative. Sometimes we're almost lockstep and we're talking about the same thing, and I wish I would have caught it before I did mine, but that's the fun of it. And sorry about that, second time I kicked the camera, but you're starting to get the idea of where you can go with these kits, with these models. And I highly encourage, as you can see through my videos, my goofy fun videos, is find a prototype, buy a model of these, and just kit bash the living daylights out of it and build it to what you saw out there with your own eyes and captured on video or photographs or whatever. Second part of this model, this is where the fuel tank's gonna go. I may wind up fabricating my own fuel tank out of metal. This is where the fuel tank's gonna go. So I had two bare styrene spots here, and for shooting the videos I went ahead and just covered them with black paint. It was glossy black paint, so that's why they look like oil streaks, but they're not. The fuel tank will cover that. Where I do have oil streaks is underneath our green leaker here. I did pour oil streaks all along the Detroit diesel. It dries to a glossy finish and it looks just like real oil streaks. Let me show you what I used. Streak and grime. And it dries glossy. A lot of paint thinner in this, so it doesn't dry out as bad as the other ones. But I also went ahead, and you guys just saw that right now, but we'll shut up close again. I went ahead and weathered underneath. And on the final lower last trailing edge of the AMT the Freightliner dump truck kit here, I went ahead and muddied the inside of the mud flap and the back of that push plate there. We're gonna go ahead real fast before we shut this video off to show you how easy this technique is. We're gonna go ahead and start to muddy the back of this mud flap and the visible side of the mud flap and that push plate right here real quick. Let's set the tripod aside. All right. So we'll just do this real quick. We'll try and keep this video kind of short and sweet. Using our mud effects, our mud earth effects here. There we go. They dry. It dries to a flat finish. It's a mud color, two different mud colors we're going to use, but also it's chunky, so it dries chunky like crusted up mud you'd find in the back of a mud flap or underneath your wheel wells of your truck, that type thing. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, just so you guys can see how really easy it is. You hear the metal bolts I had to put inside the bottles? Bottles. All right. So in this particular case, we're just going to go ahead and dab it along the edge in layers and build it up as it dries. We have two mud colors here. We have this darker one, which we'll use for the bottom. And we have a more slightly lighter one, which we'll use on top. And we'll do both right now on camera real quick. So as you can see, it only takes a minute. If you make a mistake or you go overboard, you can go ahead and tone that down with mineral spirits. Or any mineral spirits you can buy at an artist store. That's actually like a flake off the side of the bottle where the paint started to dry, but we use that as a flake of gunk, and that's a perfect spot for right there. So you're starting to get the idea how easy it is just to kind of play with it and work with it. Um, like I said, it's one of the most rewarding parts. Put on your choice of music. Um, put on your favorite game. I was actually listening right now to an hour-long presentation that General Mattis, General Mad Dog Mattis, was doing at some sort of officers convention. But that would have been a little bit too boring here for YouTube for you guys. But that's just an example of the mind state that this will automatically switch you into, not you picking it. Trust me, and that's the rewarding part of it. It's just, you might as well have some blonde, hot, naked chick right on your workbench next to you, massaging your back the whole time. Because I can't think of anything more soothing and relaxing and fun other than that, or I don't know, fresh baked apple pie. Put some specks up here, a couple specks up here. As you can see, it's starting to dry right there, and it's taking on the more flat appearance. Let's speed it along here. So already you can start to see how we're playing along with that hitch. Um, that's pretty much it. It doesn't get any simpler than that. But I'll show you the results of this when it dries, when we shoot the next video, and you're gonna be impressed. But pretty much, it'll look something like that. I still have to come back here with mineral spirits and wash all that down, but we'll have that all done and set for you guys on the next video. You can't mess up on this. And if you do, go ahead and get your white mineral spirits and kind of tone it down the way rainwater will. And I'm kind of actually going to do that to this part here. Let's go one more if we have time. We sure do. See, I kind of overly did it right here. But you get your mineral spirits. Let's just do that for right now, for shits and giggles. To show you how you cannot make a mistake using these techniques. If that's the way you want to go, check that out. Just like rainwater, okay? let it dry and let it surprise you with how it's gonna look when that's finished. Get some light on there. Here we go. So right now it looks kind of one-dimensional, kind of clunky, but I assure you, as it dries, as you manipulate it with the mineral spirits, you're gonna be in for a very pleasant surprise. So we'll goof around with that when we're not on camera. Real quick, let me show you what I wanted to show you guys. Apologize if my arm gets in the way. All right, here we go. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's learn together. Now I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And let's say there's a part of it I don't like, or I don't like all of it. Then we come back with the white mineral spirits and we wipe it down more. But let's say it comes out great, just needs little corrections here and there. Then we'll do that too. We'll see if we can get that to dry real quick using the old-fashioned method. But there you go. That's just an idea of, we did it fast, we did it quick. I'll fix it up after we shut off the video. It's just about done here. It's a quick video. But you're just going to constantly keep going back, adding color where you think you need color again. And you're going to use a wide brush for something like this. Soft wide brushes, gently up and down. Eventually everything's going to get blended where there's no lines or borders or separation lines, or it's going to take on, it's going to go from being a 1 or 2 dimensional looking piece that you worked on to a 3 or 3rd dimensional living really mini masterpiece, your masterpiece. Remember what I always said, you guys right now watching this, you guys who build your models, you guys who have posted before where I got my inspiration from, you guys are the living Picassos of our time. So let me just leave it right there with that. We'll keep you guys updated. This is a blast. Don't take my word on it. Check out the guys that really know how to do this and have YouTube channels that pass their techniques along. I'm just hopefully getting a spark going so you guys could check them out right here on YouTube. Check out their YouTube channels. Panzermeister36 is an artist. He's the guy I recommend highly. But there's a whole bunch of you guys out there. But there you go. You guys have an awesome rest of your Tuesday, April 25th, 2023 evening.